Hey guys, what's going on? The Red Sun has returned. Now, before I start this, I just want to say, hey, I understand that I said I wanted to do better, and then there was 3 days without anything. I just got a new position at my job, and I've been working a little bit extra. I want to see if I can get a lot of these videos pre-done before I start, taking a few days off from posting. But I really like doing this, and I wanted to, let everybody else know what's going on. So if there's some shaky uploads at some point, just want to let you know that that's what's going on. Now on to what we are on today. This is the dreaded Dragon Ball GT. You know that one series that people who love Dragon Ball would be like, yeah, it's so cool, it has this character in it, and this character, and this form is amazing. But then somebody asks like, cool, so you'd recommend it? And then they say, not really. Because personally, that's kind of what this series, that's like what Dragon Ball GT is. There's a lot of cool shit in it, but there are some big caveats. Now, if you notice here, I gave it a 6 out of 10, and yes, I have seen all of it. I'm not bullshitting you when I say, oh, it's bad, because hype. The reason I'm saying it's a 6 out of 10 is mostly because there were just some parts in it that you see a little bit that are a little dated, that definitely did not, go too well. There are some cool things in it, don't get me wrong, but then there are some things that kind of mess with the story of what's going on. Kind of like how, the wish-granting Shenron can only be used so many times before the Shadow Dragons appear. This Shenron exists, but if you ask him for something, then the world explodes and it goes throughout the entire universe. First, and then you have to find it. Like, that's a little too much. That seems like too many negatives for something that has been kind of a mainstay in it. And then there are some things that just aren't really well done. You see the score is 6.5, I gave it a 6, mostly because there are some parts that I genuinely enjoyed and thought were awesome. Now, the main thing people don't like about this series is that in the original Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z Kai, you're probably thinking like, oh, well, a lot of people had some time to shine, some badass things happened. The fight between Android 17 and Piccolo was an amazing fight. Right? Gohan versus Cell is an awesome fight. Right? Vegito versus Boo was an amazing thing. Because there was always a fight that took place that didn't have the main character. In a lot of this show, it's pretty much the Goku show. He shows up and then kicks whoever's ass he's opposing. Like, if you take Goku in his Super Saiyan 4 form, which I gotta say is a big positive on this show's part, because he does look pretty badass. I like the hairstyle, the kind of graying shimmer right here, along with the eyeliner and the makeup. It makes him seem a little bit more serious. And the kind of animalistic tones that they're going for about how he's covered in red fur, it kind of makes the character look a lot more badass, kind of like he has power that he's never really had before. But then you take it to where, oh, he transforms into that, and then it's an even fight between whoever he's fighting. I think that's a little bit of a caveat that I really can't stand. There's no alternative to who is the badass in the area. It's always Goku shows up, and then plot continues because he killed whoever it was. That's kind of the biggest shit part on the end of it. Plus, the animation wasn't all that well, the story didn't go to a lot of different places, and there were some unnecessary things that happened, like kind of Pan. Not a lot of people like Pan. Pan is kind of not that great of a character. She's a little annoying, she's kind of a brat, and she kind of takes the place of Gohan if Gohan were not cool. Well, I think it was just, it was a decision that didn't go over too well. But there are some things in this series that actually were pretty badass. Yes, Baby right here, I think he's one of my favorite villains in the entire Dragon Ball series. Now, I wouldn't say he's my favorite because Frieza is a fucking god. But Baby is just so, like, his designs are so well done and so badass. And his abilities also make him, like, crazy, super powerful, and, like, a legit threat, because he can infect an entire planet and be a badass. Not to mention, he infects Vegeta and turns him into the most powerful Vegeta's ever been, before he gets the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. And that's goddamn awesome, and I really liked the idea. With that being said, Goku turning into a kid through most of the series is pretty damn annoying. I'm not a fan of his voice. Nice. And how Super Saiyan 3 is a very limited transformation that doesn't really do anything. The design for, I think, yeah, that's Omega Shenron. Is that Omega Shenron? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the name. There's Shenron, Purunga, Omega Shenron. No, Omega Shenron is the Shadow Dragon. The Dark Star Shenron. I think that's what it is. The Black Star Shenron. And then there's the Shadow Dragon Shenron right here that you can see. He has a really cool design, and I will give him props for that. The intro I thought was cool as a kid, but the more I've grown up, the more I've seen it like, this isn't what I remember. This ain't hitting right. The design for Baby is amazing. The Shadow Dragon saga was pretty meh, if I were to say it right. It was pretty much Goku not having his powers through most of it, because it was pretty much a boss rush of him having to fight every single dragon and not having enough time to, like, accurately power up. The first one was just dumb because it ended up with, like, a power of friendship destroying the toxic Shenron. It goes on to the Rage Shenron. Had a cool idea, but he just got one-shotted when somebody was like, oh, I can do this, and then he's dead. Nova and Ice Shenron, I think, are an enormous plus in this series. I really like them, and I wish they had been incorporated in a different way, because they were really cool. They had a really cool dichotomy. And personally, I know this is kind of dumb, but when I play Xenoverse 2, I kind of main Ice Shenron. It's a weird-ass character to main, but he's pretty fucking good, and I really like him. Nova Shenron, not my favorite in the anime here. He's actually a badass, and I absolutely love him. He's really cool. Well, and I think the way that he's defeated is a pretty good way for a character to go out. It makes sense. He was definitely a highlight of the series. Baby was a highlight of the series. Super Saiyan 4 was also awesome. Super Saiyan Gogeta, that you can see right here, is really cool. But other than that, there wasn't a lot. Super 17 was a cool villain, but he wasn't that great. He's definitely not a character that I'd put on any, like, top-tier lists. Plus his design, I just don't like. The long, thin black hair in a show that's kind of well known for big, fucking spiky hair that goes up like this, it just doesn't look right. It's mostly a series about, oh, Goku's not there yet, then nobody can win. He shows up, he thinks of, like, one plan, and then he wins. And overall, I'd say it had some pretty cool villains, it had a few good concepts, but the overall story held it back. Sorry to say, this is a 6 out of 10. I think it's fine, I think it's serviceable. It's definitely not bad, it's not trash, and it's not, like, ass. I'd say it's worth, like, a disinterested watch. Once again, this is not a review, this is, like, my personal thoughts. My thoughts are not something that you should take into consideration. This is just, imagine this is a conversation with a friend. And this is something that, like, you're playing on your phone as you're watching it, or you're going through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You're just reading stuff while this is playing in the background. Hell, you could be playing this you could be watching this on your computer and, like, playing your PlayStation or Xbox, or hell, your other monitor on your computer. It's worth a disinterested watch, I'll say that. Overall, not great, but it's fine. It's exact. That's a good 4-letter word for it. But until next time, I have been the Red Sun, and I'm gonna go ahead and set for today. So, see ya.